Hi, I'm Steve and this is Emily and we're the directors of Centre of Movement.
So at Centre of Movement, everything starts with just that one belief that children want to move, children want to be included, they want the chance to move, the chance to grow, and it's not just therapy but in all of their life, in their playing with their siblings, playing at the park, being able to attend mainstream school.
For approximately 3 years now we've had families travel from New Zealand to come to Gold Coast, Australia at Centre of Movement for intensive therapy. So it's kind of been a vision for us to take travel and the stress of coming to another country to be able to have
access to intensive therapy. And
intensive therapy is our most utilised form of therapy. We have families travelling from all over New Zealand to access it. It consists of 3 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 weeks. So our vision is to bring this style of therapy over to New Zealand.
Hi, I'm Angie, I'm Kiara's nana. There was a turning point in Kiara's journey where we was told that she would need a powered wheelchair. And the reasoning behind that was because it was easier for everybody but Kiara. Kiara wants to move. We did a lot of research in New Zealand to start with, and there was nothing. We expanded our searches and came across Centre of Movement. I don't have a defining moment. Everything's been a defining moment. From the minute we walked through the door and the receptionist jumped up, opened the door for us, welcomed us in, it's just everything that we could have dreamed of, really.
So our road to Centre of Movement here in Gold Coast pretty much started with Isla's sort of progress or her development. We weren't happy with the speed as which she was progressing. So we looked outside our region, outside our country, and we ended up here.
And yeah, she's just, the improvements that we've seen in Isla, not just with her emotional regulation, her physical, her cognitive, she's speaking more, she's starting to eat more, she's just, her overall whole being has just changed dramatically since incorporating the intensive model with what we're doing at home with our regular therapy. So it's just, yeah, the gains for Isla's been incredible.
Having the therapy close by in New Zealand just means it can be all that more cohesive with her day-to-day, her week-to-week therapy that we're doing with her at home.
Archie suffered a brain injury during birth and has cerebral palsy. And we knew early on how critically important early intervention was for children with brain injuries. And so we started looking for clinics in New Zealand that could offer this kind of treatment for Archie, and we came up blank. There was no one. New Zealand's really behind, and we're no longer comparable to places like Australia, particularly or specifically in terms of healthcare. It's already a really incredibly stressful situation, and having to leave your country to find, adequate support is really disheartening. So the benefits of attending the Centre of Movement are obviously largely while you're there you get these experiences to use all of these different bits of equipment, lots of them that we don't have access to in New Zealand. While we're at the clinic, we're learning how to handle our children so that we can carry on those movements and that therapy at home. So having access to this in your own country comes with a whole lot less stress because you've got a better support system around you, which for me means I'm able to continue working, whereas coming over here I've had to take leave. It will make it way more accessible to more people. The cost is still a big prohibitor, and it will be for most families, and I guess that's where the importance of funding comes in.
Hi, I'm Jackie, and this is little Greer. She's 2.5 years old. She was born to a major brain bleed at birth, unexplained, and as a result she's got a severe brain injury. So we've done a lot of research and tried different therapies, and then we heard Centre of Movement were coming to New Zealand, and then they were coming to Rotorua. So was quite exciting because it was obviously where we lived. So we took part in their first intensive In that first intensive, we saw more progress in her doing more than we'd kind of seen in the year. She sat for the first time, she rolled, and I remember giving Emily and Steve a hug at the end and crying and just saying that you've just given us hope. Yeah, it's just so much hope of seeing her do things, seeing her want to move. Often when we're out and about, she's quite quiet, but here she loves it.
Like I said previously, our vision is to be able to bring the same model of therapy from Australia over to New Zealand, and that would include high-tech equipment, all the different modalities, training New Zealand locals so that it's embedded within the health system, so it's not just us bringing practitioners from Australia. And overall, we just want to help as many children as possible and give them the best chance moving forward.
Having the centre of movement more accessible to us by being in New Zealand will just mean that money that we have fundraised, which we are dependent on, will go further.
Getting on an aeroplane to access therapy, it isn't the right answer, that we shouldn't have to do this.
It was a massive undertaking for our family, you know. We ended up, we had to split our family, you know, effectively.
So we've seen the gap in services. We can feel this huge momentum rising with all the families wanting to join with us and wanting to assist in bringing intensive therapy and this real sense of community to New Zealand.
So if you're interested in helping children like my child Archie get more access, I'd really encourage you to click the link below and find out about the opportunities to make this kind of therapy more accessible for more children in New Zealand.